What's going on YouTube? Your boy's back again with another tutorial of challenges on functional programming. So let's dive into the exciting part for solving this challenge. Okay, so this one says return part of an array using the slice method. So in this challenge we're going to be using a slice method. Oops. Yeah. So the slice method returns a copy of certain elements of an array. Yeah, it can take two arguments. The first gives the index of where to begin the slice. The second is the index for where to end the slice, and is non-inclusive. If the arguments are not provided, the default is to start at the beginning of the array through the end, which is an easy way to make a copy of the entire array. The slice method does not mutate the original array. In this context, a mute means it doesn't alter, it's a new one. So it doesn't alter the original array, however, it returns a new array. Okay? Here's an example. It's given us an array which is assigned to a variable r. So cat and it's called cat, dog, tiger, and zebra in the array in the form of string. Okay, so it's a string array. And now is slicing this array from the first index until the third index. So 0, 1, 2, 3. So in this case, 0, 1, 2. In arrays, we always start with a 0th index. So 1 for an array is a 0. 2 for an array is a 1. So here we've specified 1 and 3. So it would be 0, 1, okay, and then 2, 3. Cool. Alright. So now it says use the slice method in the slice array. Slice array method in the slice array. So use the slice method, which is to be implemented in the slice array function, which is this one, to return part of the nm, which is array, which is this one, given the provided begin slice and end slice indexes. The function should return an array. Right, so it says that first of all I need to use the slice method, and based on our learning we have learned that the slice method can be applied on the arrays. Okay, so I will be applying the slice method on this array, and it takes in, so slice array takes in three parameters: nm, begin, and slice. And when the function is being called here, it takes in the array as input nm, which is this array here, and the starting point it gives it as 1, and the ending point it gives it as 3. So which means that in the answer we should have only a dog and a tiger. But remember that one important fact of the slice method is that when it specifies the ending point, it does not include that ending point. So for example, in this case, it's it says I want the starting point to be 1. Yeah, fair enough. It will be 0 and 1. So these are the indexes, okay? So it will be 0 and 1. So the slice method will cut off this this dog element and then move on to the next one, which is tiger. So it will say 0, 1, 2, 3. That's the third element in the third index, but it won't include this. It won't include zebra into the new array. So our new array, which slice method already will be returning based on this requirement here, will include dog and a tiger. So let's start the code now. So first of all, because it says that we need a function should return an array. Okay, so I'm gonna be now creating a new array first. So alter, and I'm gonna name it as altered input anim. Alright, and then assign it an empty array. And now what I'm gonna be doing using a slice method on this parameter anim. Okay, why? Because this parameter has our input. This is our input array. Okay, input anim array. So I would be doing anim dot slice, and then the first number that slice method of JavaScript takes is a start point of from which index I want to cut the array, because it's already specified here. I'm going to be doing begin. So these parameters here, begin slice and end slice. Alright, so that's the start point and that's the ending point. Alright, and that's about it really. Yeah, and I'm gonna be assigning the result of this whole method here, this whole statement, I would say, to altered input and anim. Alright, and then I'll just return this array, which is altered input array, and this should work. If it doesn't work, I've done something wrong. Let's check. Yay, it works! Congratulations, guys! You're doing pretty well. I'm really proud of you. Alright, so I'm gonna go to the next challenge. Alright, this one is about remove elements from an array using slice instead of splice. Huh, interesting. So now we're gonna be removing elements from an array using the slice method. A common pattern while working with arrays is when you want to remove items and keep the rest of the array. JavaScript offers the splice method for this, which takes arguments for the index or where to start removing items, then the number of items to remove, and if the second argument is not provided, the default is to remove items through the end, right? However, splice method mutates the original array it's called on. Here's an example. So an array of strings is assigned to the variable city, and then it returns London and deletes it from the cities array. How is it doing that? Is taking 0, 1, 2, 3, so the third index, and how many items from the third index we want to remove, which is only one, which is London, which is London. Alright, so cities is now Chicago, Delhi, Islamabad, and Berlin. As we saw in the last challenge, the slice method does not mutate the original array. Yep, but returns a new array which can be saved into a variable. Recall that the slice method takes two arguments for the indices to begin and end the slice. The end is non-inclusive. The returns, and returns those items in a new array. Use the slice method instead of splice helps avoid the array mutating side effects. Rewrite the function non-mutating splice, which is this one, by using slice instead of splice. It should limit the provided cities array to a length of 3 and return a new array with only the first 3 items. Do not mutate the original array provided to the function. Right, so we need to take this string array, and by using the slice method, we need to return the first 3 elements. So Chicago, Delhi, and Islamabad. And how are we going to do that? Yes, but you guessed it, by the slice method. So remove this array, and just to let you know that this city's argument, this array, the input city, is being passed in this function, which is the non-mutating splice in the variable cities. Alright, so we're gonna use that. So I'm gonna say the array, which is cities, and then I'm gonna be using the slice method on it. And what's my first point going to be to we don't want to start the new array from, yes, from 0. If you said that, well done to you. Why? Because it says that you should limit the provided cities array to a length of 3. So 1, 2, and 3. Okay. And how many? What's the length of the array we need? 3. Which means in this argument, in this argument we're gonna pass. What are we gonna pass? So remember, we said that the slice method does not take the ending index in consideration. It always takes the one before the ending index. So in this case, it would be London. So if we say Chicago is on 0th index, Delhi is on the 1st, Islamabad is on the 2nd, and London is on the third, so we're gonna say that so 1 2 3 4. We're gonna type in 3, so over here we're gonna say 3 because 0 1 2 and 3. Oops, 3. Yeah, so what that gonna do is give us Chicago, Delhi, and Islamabad, and it will ignore London because that's non-inclusive because of this ending point. Alright, so that's all really, and we're going to return. Let me try one experiment here. If this works, I'll tell you why. If it works. Ah, yes, it does work. So what I tried to do that instead of doing instead of declaring a new array like this, altered oops input cities, and then return, and then omitting the returning keyword and then just returning altered cities. Okay, I'm still gonna pause the test because I'm still oops, I did not expect that. Or I forgot to assign the result to the array. Input cities. Okay, this will still pause the test because I'm still returning a new array, but this way is a bit inefficient. Why? Because it's got 2 extra lines of code. Alright, so I'm gonna just give him 1 line of code and that will resolve my entire query. Alright, and that will pass the test. Alright, cool. Let's run it and see. Hasta la vista challenge. Alright, so let's go to the next one. Brilliant. So now this one's about combining 2 arrays using concat method. Right. So concatenation means to join items end to end. The JavaScript offers the concat method for both strings and arrays that work in the same way. For arrays, the method is called on one, then another array is provided as the argument to the concat, which is added to the end of the first array. It returns a new array and does not mutate either of the original arrays. Here's an example. So it gives in the first array and calls in the concat method on that array, and then in the concat method it passes the second array that it wants to attach with the first, which is this one. So this will return a new array, which is the combination of both the arrays. Right. Now it says they use the concat method in the non-mutating concat, which is this one, function to concatenate attach to the end of the original. The function should return the concatenated array. Right, so we need to attach the first array to the the second array to the first array, right? And we're gonna be using the concat method as it says in the requirements. Cool. So how are we gonna do that? By using the concat method, obviously, and the requirements also says that the function should return the concatenated array. So how do we concat arrays? So first for the original array, and then uh, we're gonna call the concat method on the original array, and then pass in the array that we want to attach to it, which is this one here. Alright, and that should do the trick. And then at the end, it also says that we need to return the concatenated array. So simply place the keyword return there. Alright, so that should basically do the thing for us. Let's see if it does. No, original. Huh, I spelled it wrong. My bad. What was I thinking? Alright, anyway. My heart's beating now. Yay, power up. Oh yeah, I'm boosted up by Red Bull. Alright, cool. So I'm gonna go to the next challenge. Brilliant. So this challenge is about add elements to the end of an array using concat instead of a push. Functional programming is all about creating and using non-mutating functions. The last challenge introduced the concat method as a way to combine arrays into a new one without mutating the original arrays. Compare concat to the push method. Push adds an item to the end of the same array. Is called on which mutates that array. Here's an example. So it gives us this example in which the string array of integers have been assigned to the variable r, and then push the fourth and other array has been pushed into the r. So r is changed to 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. Yep, that's fine. Not the functional programming way. Okay, cool. Concat offers a way to add new items to the end of an array without any mutating side effects. Change the non-mutating push, which is this one here. So it uses the concat to add new item to the end of the original one instead of push. The function should return an array. Cool. So this challenge is about pointing out the difference between a push and concatenation. Okay, so basically what a push does is if you have two arrays, it will so if you so if you have two arrays and you want to push the second array into the first array, the push what it does is changes the original first array and returns the length of the original array which has been updated. Okay, whereas concat, it doesn't change the original array, but it merges two arrays together and returns a new array of the result. new array containing the result. Alright, so I would do instead of push, we can use a concat, and that will return us our desired result. Okay, which means that the first original array won't change, neither will the second, but we'll just get a new array with the two um we'll, we'll get the results of both arrays merged. Alright, so in this way, so this is the first array, this is the second array, and what we will get is this result, which is this one, 1 2 3 4 5. So just to give a proof of it, or show you guys, I will console.log this statement here, and you can see the result by yourselves. Alright, see 1 2 3 4 5. Cool. So we'll put this back to the return statement. Oops. And yeah, there we go. Perfect. So now it should pass the test. Yay, you're out of sight. Oh yes, we are flying. Right. Up to the next one. Use the reduce method to analyze data. The reduce method, or simply reduce, is the most general of all arrays operation in JavaScript. Of all array operations in JavaScript, you can solve almost an array processing problem using the reduce method. This is not the case with the filter and map methods, since they do not allow interaction between two different elements of the array. For example, if you want to compare elements of the array or add them together, filter or map could not process that. The reduce method allows for more general forms of array processing, and is possible to show that both filter and map can be derived as a special application of reduce. However, before we get there, let's practice using reduce first. The variable watch list, which is this one, holds an array of objects with information on several movies. Alright, these all of them. Alright, use reduce to find the average IMDb rating of the movies directed by Christopher Nolan. Recall from prior challenges how to filter data and map over it to pull what you need. You may need to create other variables, but save the final average into a variable average rating. Note that the rating values are saved as strings in the object and need to be converted into numbers before they are used in any mathematical operations. Cool. Right, so we're going to use the filter method to get all the movies from this array who's directed which were directed by Christopher Nolan. So how are we gonna do that? So let's work with this variable average rating, and then I'm gonna apply the filter method to the array. So filter, and then what I'm gonna do, I'll just expand it a bit more so that you guys can see this really clearly. So now I'm going to give it an E6 arrow function. So this will be my parameter, each element of this object. So in short, this is referring to I in for loop, if you wanna take it from my perspective. Okay, and then arrow function comes in, and then I wanna filter the each object's director, who is Christopher Nolan. Alright, so I'll do element, and then director is strictly equal to Christopher Nolan. Alright, so I've got this part sorted here. This part, some movies which were directed by Christopher Nolan. Alright, and now I'm gonna be applying a reduce method, which essentially gives you a single value from an array. So if your array has multiple values, it will give you a single value based on those values. Alright, so I'll be applying the reduce method and consider the arrow function. So we can do this with a normal function, which involves brackets, and we can do this with the arrow function of ES6. I'll first show you the normal one, and then also show you the arrow function as well. Alright, so reduce method in the normal function, the reduce method takes four yeah, so let me start over again. So in reduce method, first I will want an accumulator which will store all my totals of the ratings. So if I add 7.9 plus, I don't know, 8.3, then it will sum it up and then keep the total in this variable. Alright, so I'll do total, and then I need to keep a track of that particular value that I'm adding to the total as well, and that I'm gonna give it a variable called nm, and then I'll also need the index of this element. So I'm gonna keep a track of index with index variable, and last but not the least, I would also need the array that I'm working with. Oh, where did my code go? Yep. So what's my array? Okay, yeah, just give it a normal array. Alright, cool. So now I would do this with arrow function, and this is what this part is, what exactly I want to do. So first of all, I want to cast the rating. ratings to a number. See here, the ratings are in string, so I want to cast these to a number because the average can't be calculated with the string types. Okay, so I will cast it by a number, which is number keyword, and then I will have element and then IMDb rating. Alright, and then whatever the result is, I want to keep it adding to the accumulator, which is my total. Right after that, I want to divide the total by array's length. So array length, and that's it really. And in the second argument of the reduce, I want to give an integer value from what point do I want the count to start, as in from which index. So I want it to start from start, right? So I'll do 0. Cool. So that's done. So I'll just format it a bit so it's a bit easier for you guys to understand and read as well. So that's alright. There we go. Yeah, perfect. Reduce can come down with the filter. It's a bit easy in this way, don't you guys think? I think so. Alright. Cool. So let's see if we are passing the test of this challenge. Hopefully we are. Nope, we are not passing the test. Why not? We need to figure that out. Where did I go wrong? That's right, yep. It's filtering by Christopher Nolan, and then the reduce method is taking 4 arguments or parameters: total, element, index, and R. And oops, I think I've got to return the result, which is by the keyword. Yep, that's fine. That's what I wasn't doing. So that might have been the reason. Let's check if it was. Yes, it was. Feel that need for speed. Oh yeah, baby. We're feeling it. Oh, well done, guys. You did pretty good. I'm really proud of you. Keep up the good work. Alright, and this is it for this video tutorial challenge. And if you guys really like my videos, please hit a like button below, and hope you guys enjoyed it and learned a lot of new things as well. And if you guys have any questions, feel free to leave a comment in my videos, and I'll make sure I'll go back to you all as soon as possible. So until next time, go write some code and practice. I'll see you guys next time.